did a wonderful outing with your kids this last weekend.
Yeah.
Went to the LA car show.
Well, I'm the kind of guy who I like to go places with my kids, and we like to do things. And so every year we go to the car show. And most of the time we go to the car show and Will wants to leave probably 10 minutes in. This year he didn't, which is great. He wanted to stay and he wanted to look at all the cars. He was having a blast going in the cars. And so we were there probably about 2 hours. And Jake got my attention and dragged me to look at the interior of some car. And I turned back to get Will, and Will was gone. And you hear all this horrible stuff in the news, and I've talked on this show about him being almost abducted. And I have an abnormal. It's not an abnormal, but I have a fear. If he's out of my sight, I don't know, in a public place and I don't know where he is, I really kind of have a panic attack.
And there's nothing abnormal about it. I just want to say.
But I mean, it's
yeah,
it's hard. So he was gone. And I said to Jake and his little cousin, I said, "Where's Will? Where's Will?" And I don't know. And so we start running around like crazy men, screaming at the top of our lungs, "Will! Will!" Nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God!" And I start looking around. There's 70,000 people there, and I think, I don't see one security person. And I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, this could be really bad." And I start thinking, okay, what do I do? And I think, okay, I've got to go to like the lost person place, and so I start thinking, motivating myself and the two kids that I have with me, other than Will, Jake and his cousin. We start heading off to the lost person place, and as I'm doing that, my phone rings. And I pick up my phone, and it's from Florida, and I'm thinking, Florida always worries me.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're in California. It would seem odd. Like, why am I getting a Florida call?
Why am I getting a Florida call?
Yeah.
So I picked it up because I was in an emergency state.
Yeah.
And the guy on the other end goes, "Hey, I just want you to know, I'm sitting here, I'm at a BMW display, and I'm sitting here with your son, and he came up to me and said that he wanted me to call you and let you know to come pick him up." And I thought to myself, I had an overwhelming emotional response to that, and thought, oh my God, this is unbelievable, because I certainly didn't think he would have the presence of mind to go up to an adult who looked like he was in charge and say, "I need you to call my dad. Here's the number."
Amazing.
It was a very proud moment for me.
Yeah.
He, and by the way, when I found him, when I got to the place where he was, I don't know if you can put the picture up, but the one of him in the office, that's him. That's him enjoying his cars. He loves the convertibles. Okay, this is where I found him. He was holding court in a meeting of BMW executives.
That's pretty cool.
He's in charge there. You can tell he's in charge. He's leaning back in his chair, and he's telling them what's wrong with the BMW. And you can see he's very relaxed, and he put the fear of God into me, but he was totally in control. And to me, like you said earlier with the banana story, you've got to celebrate the little victories.
Yeah.
And that to me was an incredible little victory. That was he was in charge. He was unafraid, or he might have been afraid, but he knew what to do.
Yeah.
And he knew to call me. And I was really proud of him. And his big brother was proud of him, which is a very rare occasion when his big brother is proud.
And so now my next question is, had you done any work to help him to get to that point?
Sadly, no.
Okay. Well, and you know what? Thank you for being honest about that, because I think it's something that a lot of times it doesn't occur to us. I have to say...
It should have occurred to me.
Well, you know what?
Didn't.
But you're human. You get to be human. We're going to let you be human for this week only.
Okay.
So we're having a sale on that.
And I'll be honest with you. I'm guilty of making excuses for him. I'm guilty of saying, oh, well, he's probably not going to remember my phone number, or he's not going to probably know in a moment of stress to do that. And it's my problem and my issue. So I should have worked with him on that.
Well,
but I didn't.
But you know what?
And that's why it was so overwhelming to me.
Yes, and it's remarkable that he had the wherewithal to do what he did and that it all ended happily. But it does bring up conversation about, I always say that you're either the lesson or you have the responsibility to learn.
Yeah.
And for everybody who just heard that story, we can all be grateful that that didn't happen to us this last week, but we have a responsibility to learn from it.
I think sorry to interrupt, but go on.
Well, I was just going to say that we did talk about last week that our friends at ARG, the Autism Research Group, that I'm always telling people, fill out their survey because they're doing research that is stuff that you ask for. They just put out a free video on their website about how to teach these things to a child, about this exactly. And you can watch it for free, autismresearchgroup.com, about what to teach a child to do when they get lost.
Well, now the amazing thing for me is, all those times that he had the iPhone, and all those times he would call me, and I wasn't putting it together. He would call me, on the iPhone.
Yeah.
He would take his mom's iPhone and call me,
right.
Or my mom's iPhone, and he would call me, and I think it was just the repetition.
Yeah.
And knowing, knowing who he was calling and knowing that number is representative of me.
Yeah.
I was so impressed.
It is impressive.